you're the owner of a home care agency looking to drive predictable, consistent leads for your agency, in this video, I'm going to share some of the insights that we've gleaned from doing digital marketing for home care agencies, both large and small, independent, and franchises. My name's Frank, I'm the founder of Saga Pixel, and over the last few years, we've had the opportunities to work with all of the biggest franchises, as well as small independents. We've worked with home care agencies across the country to help achieve their goals, whether it was to drive more caregivers or to get more leads in their pipeline. In this video, I'm going to share with you what we've learned about doing paid search through Google Ads, as well as handling SEO, both in large and small markets. So one of the first questions that we get is, how much should I be spending on my marketing? A lot of this depends on the maturity of your home care agency, but the general rule of thumb is anywhere from 5 to 10% of your revenue should get reinvested back into advertising and lead generation. If you're just starting out and you don't have any revenue, I would take a look at what your goals are for the year, what your projected revenue is, what you'd like to earn, and budget to put probably closer to that 10% of that number towards building up your practice and your pipeline. Now, once you have established a budget for your marketing, then you need to decide whether you want to focus more on the long term or the short term. The two channels that are best at driving predictable leads for a home care agency are PPC through Google Ads and SEO, organic search. While both of these channels work, they look and work very differently. So the first thing you need to think about, again, is, are you focused on more the long term or the short term? As far as your PPC ads with Google Ads, as soon as you turn them on, they'll start working. They'll start driving leads. And as soon as you stop spending money on them, they'll stop and the leads will dry up. On the other hand, with SEO, odds are it's going to take a little bit of time before you start seeing any sort of return on investment from it, especially if you're an independent. If you have a brand new website that Google's never seen before, it really doesn't trust it, it's going to take longer for that website to start ranking on Google. If you're a member of a franchise, a Comfort Keepers, Home Helpers, Visiting Angels, Home Instead, so forth and so on, SEO will probably take a shorter amount of time to start really delivering for you. But either way, it's going to take time for SEO to drive a return on investment for you. Think of PPC like going to the supermarket and buying apples. And think of SEO like planting an apple tree in your backyard. It's going to take some months for that tree to start giving fruit, but you really just need to water it and take care of it, and it'll continue to give you fruit for years. On the other hand, that bushel of apples that you bought at the supermarket, as soon as you eat them, they're gone. So if you were able to fast forward 10 years into the future and your website's ranking well on Google and you've been running PPC ads this entire time, you're likely to find that your organic leads down the road will be many times less expensive than your pay-per-click ads. However, it would have taken longer for those to start coming in. So let's talk numbers. As far as the Google Ads campaigns that we run, we typically see a cost per conversion of, on the low end, maybe $30-something, and on the high end, probably closer to 90, which we usually over time will get down probably to somewhere in the middle between these two numbers. If you've been running Google Ads for your home care agency and your cost per conversion, your cost per lead is higher than that number, then you really should have somebody take a look at that account. There's probably a lot of waste. You're probably spending money on searches that simply aren't going to drive leads for you. As far as SEO is concerned, a typical budget for a home care agency, it depends a lot obviously on the market, but a typical budget will range anywhere from, on the low end, around $750 a month to the high end of probably around $3,500. Again, it really depends on how quickly you want to get everything done and how competitive the market is. Now, as far as what goes into a PPC campaign or an SEO campaign to make it work, I'm not going to get into that in this video, but we do have other videos that I'm going to link to below that will walk you through what our process is for local SEO, namely a location page strategy and an on-page optimization strategy. As far as PPC is concerned, it's really a matter of split testing the different campaign types that Google allows, having a very aggressive negative keyword strategy to make sure that you're not wasting money on irrelevant clicks, and testing. Now, if you're working with an agency like ours that has data from across the country, we can often use that data to speed up that process. But if you want to try to go the DIY route, It's just a matter of coming up with a strategy where you're going to test every single aspect of your campaign until you have a well-oiled machine that's driving leads in that $30 to $40 range. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please consider giving it a like. And if you'd like to reach out and see if we may be able to help your home care agency, please reach out.